Hey everyone. Welcome back to MoneyWise, where we break down personal finance and investing so you can make smarter money decisions. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest financial debates out there. Should you rent or buy a house? People say buying a home is the American dream, but is it really the best financial move? Or could renting actually be the smarter choice? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which option is better for building wealth. Let's dive in. The true cost of buying a home. All right, let's start with buying. Most people think if you buy a house, you're making a great investment. But here's what they don't always consider. Buying a home isn't just about the mortgage payment. There are a ton of extra costs. Down payment, usually 5 to 20% of the home's price. Property taxes could be thousands of dollars per year. Maintenance and repairs, new roof, plumbing issues, that's all on you. Insurance and HOA fees, more money out of your pocket. And don't forget interest on your mortgage. Over a 30-year loan, you could pay hundreds of thousands in interest alone. So is buying still a great deal? Let's see how renting compares. The financial upside of renting. Now, renting gets a bad reputation because people say you're just throwing money away. But here's the truth. When you rent, you avoid many of the costs that come with home ownership. No property taxes, no expensive repairs, and no worrying about the housing market crashing. And the best part? The money you would have spent on a down payment and maintenance can be invested instead. Imagine putting $50,000 into the stock market instead of a down payment. Historically, that could grow much faster than home equity. So, in some cases, renting could actually make you richer than buying. When buying a home makes sense. Okay, so does this mean no one should buy a house? Not necessarily. Buying can be a great move if you plan to stay for 10 plus years. The longer you stay, the better your chances of building equity. You get a good deal. Buying at the right price matters. You're financially stable. If you can afford the down payment, maintenance, and taxes without stressing, buying can make sense. And here's something a lot of people don't think about. When you buy a home with a fixed-rate mortgage, your monthly payment stays the same for 15 to 30 years. Meanwhile, rent typically goes up every year. So, while renters might pay $1,500 today, in 10 years, they could be paying $2,000 or more. Homeowners, on the other hand, lock in their housing cost, making it easier to predict and manage finances over time. The hidden costs of both options. But before you make a decision, let's talk about some hidden costs that people often overlook, whether you rent or buy. For homeowners, one big cost is opportunity cost, the money tied up in a house that could have been invested elsewhere. If you put $50,000 into a home, it's not earning the same returns as the stock market, which historically grows around 7 to 10% per year. But for renters, the hidden cost is rent inflation and lack of stability. If your landlord increases rent each year or decides to sell the property, you could be forced to move, paying moving costs and higher future rents. So the real question is, what do you value more? The stability and long-term payoff of homeownership or the flexibility and investment potential of renting? Which one builds more wealth? So, which one is better financially? Here's the answer. If you invest wisely, renting can be the better wealth-building strategy. But if you're in it for the long haul, buying can also pay off. The key? Don't just assume buying is always the better move. Run the numbers and see what fits your situation. So what do you think? Would you rather rent and invest or buy and build equity? Let me know in the comments. And if you got value from this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more smart money tips every week. Thanks for watching MoneyWise, and I'll see you in the next one.